Save Our Seabirds is on a mission of rescue, rehabilitation, and release. And here to tell us about their upcoming fundraiser is CEO David Pilston. Thank you. Welcome back.
Thank you for inviting me.
You have a big anniversary coming up.
We just had a big anniversary in November. It marked 10 years of Save Our Seabirds in Sarasota.
Oh my gosh.
Can you believe it's been that long?
I know.
Since we took over that rundown facility that was left from the Pelican Man.
I know.
And been whipping it into shape ever since.
Nobody would recognize it.
And nobody would recognize it.
It's beautiful. It really is beautiful. You've done an amazing job.
Thank you.
So, in addition to that, lots of exciting things. We'll talk about the event that you have coming up, but you signed a new lease with the city?
Yes, so it was our 10-year anniversary, and coincidentally, we had a 10-year lease. So we needed a new lease. And our existing lease allowed for a 5-year extension, but we want to make some long-range plans, and you really can't make long-range plans with a 5-year lease. So the city kindly offered us, and we signed a 20-year lease.
That's awesome.
With 2 10-year options thereafter, so potentially 40 years.
Oh my gosh,
so
that's
Save Our
wonderful.
Seabirds isn't going anywhere.
That's awesome.
Yes, yeah, we're very excited.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, I know I said before we came on that I really didn't want to talk about this because I know how sad it is, but how badly did the red tide affect our birds?
Very badly, unfortunately. Everybody saw, the millions of dead fish out there and other problems from the red tide, but the birds were hit very badly.
It took all their food sources.
Took their food source. Well, and also it poisoned their food sources.
Sure.
So we got one Monday morning alone, we got 42 sick birds in that had been eating poisoned shellfish on our beach. These were migratory birds passing through. They didn't get the memo that we had red tide.
Right.
And so they were feasting on the poisoned shellfish, and we got 42 in one morning, hundreds more over the following weeks. And so our hospital was just at full tilt for a couple of months dealing with these very sick birds. They had a really good success rate.
Wonderful.
So we were able to release quite a few. So you have to ask yourself what would have happened if we weren't here. All those birds would have died. So
exactly.
Yeah.
What does it look like now? Has it subsided
It has,
substantially?
yes. We're still getting some birds that are coming in just hungry because, as you mentioned, their food source was killed off. So they're having a hard time finding food. It's what we call failure to thrive. But we're not getting any more sick birds in for now, thankfully.
Awesome. Now, with your new lease, I'm sure you have a lot of, like you said, new plans.
Lots of plans, right?
Long-range plans.
Yep, we have long-range plans. We have a new lease. We have a fantastic board. We have a new 5-year strategic plan that we've put together. And all that tied together with the fact that Moat will be moving their aquarium over the next few years, we view as an opportunity to really emerge as the attraction out there on the Keys. So we're going to be adding a lot of new features, really sprucing the place up, maybe doing some actual new building. Our goal, education is a big part of our mission, along with rescue, rehabilitate, and release. So what we want to do is build a place where they come out there and they linger longer and learn more. Because with the state of the environment here in Florida, we feel that environmental education is more important than ever. And so we do our part. In our education programs aren't just about the birds, but they're about the entire interrelated environment with the birds at the center.
And your program for children is has educational approval by the state?
Yes, we have 4 fully accredited field trips with Sarasota County School System tied to the state standards. And historically, like most nonprofits, we used to charge admission for those, but this year we made the decision to make them free. So if any school teachers out there, give us a call, and we've been getting a lot more field trips coming out. These are fully accredited, and with docent guides and learning materials, because with the state of the Florida environment, we just feel that environmental education is important.
Absolutely.
Now more than ever.
And there's so many schools that can't afford school trips. So thank you.
Yep, and so all you need to do is get a bus, and those are available through the local foundations. There are grants available for those. So, we want people to come on out and learn.
Oh, they'd have a great time.
Yep.
They'd have a great time. Okay, so with the time we have left, tell us about your wonderful soiree.
Our 8th annual Sunset Soiree. And you remember our first ones. Our first 3 were in the courtyard of Save Our Seabirds.
And it was wonderful. It was lovely.
It was a charming little event, but we quickly outgrew that, and then we had a couple at Moat. And then we outgrew that as well, and so this will be our third one, and it's at Michael's on the Bay at Selby Gardens.
Which is just beautiful.
A gorgeous setting with birds out there anyway.
Yes,
You know,
yeah.
last year I was speaking, and the sun was setting over the bay, and a bunch of great blue herons took off, and it was almost like we said, okay, now cue the great blue herons.
Oh my
okay.
gosh.
No, so it was perfectly timed. But we also bring our own birds out. We have birds of prey that we usually bring out. We might, if the timing is right, we might actually do a release of a bird. So, but it's fabulous food, open bar, music, live birds. It's really a fun event.
Okay, tell us one more time, where, when?
It's Michael's on the Bay,
Yep.
Thursday, March 28th from 6 to 9.
Okay.
And it's just a great group of people.
Okay,
It's-
and people can go online and get
you can go to
tickets.
SaveOurSeabirds.org or on our Facebook, Save Our Seabirds. And we've heard from many people it's the event of the season.
It's lovely.
So.
It is. It is. Thank you again for being here and for
Thank you
all
for
that
having
you
me.
do for all of us. Thank
It's a
you.
pleasure. Thanks.
Next on Suncoast FYI, a look at a whimsical gala for an incredible cause.